Hey everyone, today I wanted to go ahead and host a little bit of a discussion topic regarding which monster do you guys think the Chevaliers are actually teasing in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak as part of the last wave of free title updates, where essentially they have kind of been teasing and talking about a very important mission that they have been set out on, but they have not been able to kind of like complete it. So therefore, it seems essentially in the wording that they're eventually going to pawn it on to you, the hunter, and you'll be able to have access to this monster that they keep chasing after but have not been able to tackle so far. If you still don't necessarily know anything about the Cavaliers, this were essentially a couple of knights, a group of knights that were part of the kingdom in the lore of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, where they were originally teased as art and voice assets in base Monster Hunter Rise. Both Salvo, the leader of the Cavaliers, and Paz, the second in command, kind of like that character with the really squeaky high voice as female, but then while she's in the middle of the combat, she changes into a deep, dark, low-tone voice. And I saw a lot of Japanese players certainly make use of that voice pack. And essentially these characters were introduced to kind of just showcase that there are more hunters than just you tackling some of the knights and the kingdom's affairs. There's more things happening outside of you originally having to take care of Magnum Alo back in Komura village, or even the Rampage itself. And then when you make your way into, Elgato, of course, making sure that you take down Malzeno and all of that. Well, there's other things happening around that, and the Cavaliers usually take care of that. So essentially, as the story lore has gone so far, part of the 13.00 update, you had Paz kind of like giving you a little bit of a congratulations, if you will, a message after you took down Gore Magala, where she basically mentions that who'd have thunk that it was one of the really nasty ones. Certainly not her. But anyways, thank you for all the work you have been doing. She commemorates you for making sure that you took care of the Cavaliers hunt, because again, they are too busy with other things. They cannot be bothered with taking care of Gore Magala. And essentially you're a sweetheart for doing so, and she'll let you in on a little secret. There have been an investigation for a specific monster that destroyed Todori's hometown. And basically this is the place that also Kagura and Yomogi come from. So therefore, you kind of need to keep it hush-hush, but they are too busy with that relatively big mission at the time. This was, again, free title update number 3, and they basically was just too busy handling and taking care of that. Now, as moving forward to the last free title update, pretty much the one that we just got a couple of weeks ago, as you are requested from Salvo, this will be the Cavaliers leader, to go ahead and tackle another mission for them. And this time they request you to simply just go take down the frost-abiding Volcana. This elder dragon is relatively annoying, and the foul creature has been turning everything around into frigid wasteland, and they would gladly give it their taste of the blade. But something urgent has come up. Therefore, these things will be pawned off to you, of course, the hunter, the savior of both Komura and Elgato. So therefore, the Cavaliers are too busy to be able to handle Volcana or anything along those lines. So therefore, they're gonna pawn that on to you. So this is the kind of like the spiel Salva gives you before you actually go take down Volcana. As you take down Volcana, you essentially make your way back into town. And this is where the massive teaser comes in. Salvo begins to mention that he's happy that you're back. You were able to take down and vanquishing Volcana. You have been absolutely unstoppable after saving the entire kingdom. And he was inclined to even invite you to the Cavaliers, but not just yet. You're not good enough for that just yet. So therefore, it would be, quite rude to Komura to kind of, poach you off and make you a Cavalier. But nonetheless, he would like to inform you that the Cavaliers have received a top secret order from Her Majesty. That would be the Queen of pretty much the kingdom that you still keep hearing about, but you haven't actually been able to see, to track down and investigate a monster. However, the mission is not exactly going as you'd call it, and in quotations, swimmingly. And the reason why they make a very clear point to say swimmingly is because now that's created a little bit of a discussion as to what even would be that monster that they are essentially referencing to. They mentioned that they have yet to capture it, and it may take a while. If things do go south, we may have to call upon for your help. And I ask that you keep this in the back of your mind. So of course, they're pretty much teasing that, yes, maybe on the 5th free title update, you'll end up taking care of this monster that originally passed from the Cavaliers, the second in command mentioned, but now Salvo, the Cavaliers leader, mentions that yes, indeed, they're struggling to be able to take down this monster, and therefore they're most likely going to end up pawning it off on you, just like Gore Magala and just like pretty much Volcano. So usually a lot of people have suggested that this of course means Amatsu. That is the monster that everyone is expecting it to be, kind of like the reference point that we are expecting to get. Of course, if you know anything about data mines so far, you know that Amatsu is kind of like one of the monsters that we are expecting. But the interesting thing here is that's created a little bit of a conversation is the wording that he uses. None of the pretty much lore that we have gotten when it comes to both Rise and Sunbreak, the wording that they use has ever gone to waste. And whenever he mentions that things have not been going quote unquote swimmingly, it seems to a lot of people that he's actually referencing another monster, not necessarily Amatsu, because of course Amatsu is a flying monster, a flying elder dragon, not one that is actually underneath the water. Now it can be argued that yes indeed it's kind of like swimming in the air. That's kind of like one way to phrase it, but it's not really, you know, playing on to the way that the words that they are kind of like the way that they're presenting it, the way that Selva mentions it, that doesn't necessarily play along those lines. So a lot of people have suggested that what we are actually going to end up getting is a water themed monster. And of course, the first one that comes to mind to everyone is of course Lagi. Lagi therefore would be the monster that they kind of surprise us with. This would be the monster that has not been found in the data monsters yet, has not been found in the game files whatsoever, and it will be indeed shadow dropped, so surprise dropped if you will, as part of the 5th free title update. Sure, Amatsu might actually be there, but Lagi would be the feature monster. So that is the narrative that I've seen kind of build up after the 4th free title update went live. I found it extremely amusing and interesting that people have kind of taken just one specific word and turned it into their own thing. But of course, you know, that is what creates narratives and an interesting conversation when it comes to the community and seeing how they actually take things one way or the other. So I certainly want to put it out there. Certainly want to hear everyone's feedback on this. Do you actually think it means a flying Amatsu swimming in the air, or do you think it actually means a swimming, literally swimming, water-themed monster that of course could be either Gabriel or it could be Lagiacrus? Either one, of course, because there's no other options. It could be Plesiroth for that matter, but you know, you never know. Certainly want to hear everyone's take on that. If you are brand new to my channel though, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.